Hi guys, welcome in. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. My name is Tam. I'm also known as the Enlightened Auntie. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. All of my details are below in the description box. This is not a reading today. I decided that I wanted to kind of diversify my channel a little bit. Yes, I do readings, but I kind of realized that I've got people that are watching my YouTube channel that aren't necessarily followers of mine on social media, so you don't really know a lot about me. And even with the stuff that I post on social media, you still don't know a lot about me. So I thought I would come on today and start doing like little snippets, kind of giving you a peek into my world and kind of give other spins on spirituality and what it means. I mean, it means something different to everybody because our journeys are all, different. The lessons are all different. But I wanted to give my viewers and followers a little bit more of an intimate look at who I am. So let's start. I am a witch. So I came out of the broom closet in 2003. So I was raised Catholic, went to Catholic schools, did the whole, and when I would question things about the Catholic Church that I didn't necessarily agree with, my mother would tell me that I didn't have, I had no faith. And it wasn't that I didn't have faith. It was just that I didn't believe in the shit that they were teaching us. Like, in Catholic school, you're forced to go to religion classes and learn about, Catholicism and all that stuff. And the rules just didn't make sense. It didn't resonate for me, right? I am not an astrologist. Astrologist. Oh my God. I keep seeing that word all over Twitter, and it's like, there's this big old thing, astrologer, astrologist. Like, what the hell is an astrologist? I've been seeing this all over Twitter. So whatever. I'm not an astrologer. I know some astrology, not a lot. I probably should delve into it a little bit more for my tarot practice, but that's not my focus. But my grandmother was the one who got me interested in astrology, my horoscopes. That's where it started, with horoscopes. And so even as a kid, like, I used to go to the liquor store and buy these like little horoscope scrolls at the liquor store. I'd go buy candy and a soda and a horoscope scroll, and I would tape them to my wall next to my bed. And every day I would wake up and I would look to see what was supposed to happen that day, like, with no real understanding. Let's fast forward. Well, no, we don't even have to fast forward, because I've always been different. I've never really fit in. I mean, I never felt like I fit in. Part of it was because I'm biracial, and I grew up in a time where there wasn't a lot of people like me around, specifically like me. I grew up in a predominantly Asian community. My mother is Chinese, but I am not an army brat or anything. I'm not a military brat. My family migrated to the United States from China in the 20s. So my family has roots in Southern California. Everybody with the exception of my great-grandparents, was born and raised in Los Angeles. And we're pretty deep in generations. I think there's 7 living generations now. There's a lot of us. Anywho, I digress. Anywho, I've always been different, right? And I remember as a child, I had a few instances where I heard, and I'm clairaudient. So when you're young and you have like these strange things that happen to you, you just kind of keep them to yourself. You don't tell anybody. And I used to hear voices, and I never said anything to anybody because it freaked me out. And like, how do you tell somebody that you hear voices, right? Never mind the fact that my maternal grandmother, she was also schizophrenic. So she heard voices. But I have to really believe that that's not to say that mental health is not a thing, because mental health is a thing. but I also know that I come from lineage in terms of my gifts. So I kind of feel like, and also because there's a huge stigma with mental health, there's a huge stigma within Chinese community. And so in an Asian home, it's almost unheard. You don't talk about it. Like, you could have a fucking crazy relative and they will act like that relative doesn't exist. That's the way they treated my grandmother, unfortunately. And it was always kind of like, okay, let's not make, it's like, let's not make eye contact kind of thing. It was really weird, strange dynamic. Anywho, I used to hear voices when I was a kid, and I didn't really know how to, decipher it or really make sense of it. So I didn't say anything, and I just kind of like, it freaked me out, and I just left it alone. And I think the first time that I heard voices was about age 11. And I'm going to tell you in a minute because I'm going to go through ages, and I'll show you why it's important. So yeah, I was about age 11 when I first started. The very first time I think I remember hearing a voice, and it was a very distinctive voice, and it was a man's voice. I have since, in my adult years, heard that man's voice in my ears. It happened about 2 years ago when I went through this last major awakening. When I was in high school, well, no, I wasn't in high school. I was in college at that point. When I was 17, I graduated high school at 17. When I was in high school, or shit, I keep saying when I was in high school, it wasn't important. When I was in college, I dated a guy who worked at a bookstore, and I spent a lot of time hanging out in the bookstore in the occult section because the astrology books were calling me. And I love to read all things about Taurus because I am a Taurus sun. However, it wasn't until about 2 years ago when I realized that someone called me a fake-ass Taurus, and I was so offended until I did my birth chart, and I'm a fake-ass Taurus. I'm actually a Gemini. So I would, read up on all the Taurus stuff, and then I have a couple of books where I can look back, and I still have them. I might look in the books and I can see all the notes that I've written. So for like every boyfriend or any boy that was like super, what I thought was kind of important, I wrote their names in the book for their sign so that I can kind of see like what the compatibility would be between the signs and all that stuff. So fast forward. Fast forward. My understanding, I think I do a video on this too, a couple years ago, I talked about the cycles. So I wrote it out because these are important. Y'all need to know this. Some of y'all ain't old enough to get all the way down here to these numbers. So you're going to deal with these numbers up here, right? Like up here. Maybe here. Because the demographics of the people that follow me are somewhere between like 20 and 35. So we go through these transitions, right? And it's every 7 years, every 11 years. I drew this and I did this in another book, but I did this so that you can see it clearly, right? So if you think back on your life, right? And you think about all the things that you've experienced, all the things that you've been through, right? Look at these ages and go back, wherever you are on the spectrum. Go back and look at these ages and where you were in your life and what was happening. Because each of these stages are periods of growth, like major transformation, major growth, shifting consciousness, and major growth, right? So I used to always joke and say like guys in their 30s or guys at 30 are stupid. I say that about every guy at age 30. I'm sorry for anybody who I offend right now, but it's true. Only for me to realize on the back end years later, now that I know a little bit more about astrology, that's when everybody starts going through their Saturn return, like between the ages of 28 and 30. Like that's when yes, it is gnarly between 21 and 22, 20 to 22. You're going through some shifts because you're coming out of adolescence and, going into adulthood. So yeah, it's going to be a little traumatizing because there's some shit you need to learn. You got to learn that shit fast because you're becoming an adult, right? But when you go through your Saturn return, I'm not talking about the astrology part of it. I'm talking about life shit, okay? I'm not an astrologer, but life shit because I've been there already. 28 to 30 is when life is propelling you. I mean, it's not even, it like rips the rug up from under you. It is jarring, and it throws you. Like, if you ain't ready for adulthood, damn it, you're gonna be ready now. And it throws you in there, right? And it feels like you're dying. It feels like your life is just fucking blowing up. It feels like your life is blowing up. It does. But you learn and you grow and you heal from it and you move on. What I find interesting is that I'm looking at this list and I can see at all of these ages what I was going through. And it was traumatic, each one. And I see that I'm coming up for another one at age 49 because I'm 48 now. And I'm hoping that at this stage, at this 49, whatever this is, I'm not going to stress over it, but I'm hoping that whatever it is, by the time I get there, I'll be equipped to handle the changes that occur because I've already experienced so much shit up until this point. You have no idea. So all of you guys that are young, that are like in your early 20s, leaning into your early 30s, like, I don't want to make it seem or make it feel like, or even make it, I don't want to make you think like life is just this damning thing. Yes, you're going to go through these cycles and you're going to go through these phases, and it's necessary because it's part of your growth. How you handle it is completely up to you. Okay? So you can resist the changes, and that's partly the reason why I started like posting free content on Twitter and like really trying to engage with my followers, because what I want you to understand is that these are ongoing transitions. Your life is one gigantic transition, just like the earth is orbiting around. You know, it's a transition, and it's constantly moving. It's constant. It's a constant. And really the way that you handle it, or the way that you face it, the way that you process it, really makes all the difference. Do you resist it? And most times the very early lessons, they're very hard to learn. Why? Because we're resistant to change. I can tell you, I'm a Taurus. I'm resistant to change. I don't like change. Change has never been very comfortable for me. But at this stage of my life, I can tell you, I'm so ready for change, I don't know what to do with myself. Like, I'm ready to throw caution to the wind, sell the house, pack up the kids, and just go somewhere else. Like, do something different. I'm ready for, I've never been more ready for change ever before in my life. What else? Dark night of the soul. If you go back and look at my channel, some of the early, like the very, very first couple of videos, I was going through my dark night of the soul when I made this channel. And I cried for 3 months straight. And I had no idea what the hell was going on with me. And I was going through dark night of the soul as I was weaning myself off of antidepressants. Might not have been the smartest thing in the world, but I wanted to be very clear-headed about the direction that my life was taking. And I knew that, part of me knew that the medication prevented me from really processing whatever I was going through. It like literally, it numbed it. Like, I think when I got on these last pills, they kept me not numb, almost not numb, but I was very just kind of like whatever. I was pretty much like whatever to everything. To the point where I had a friend of mine tell me I was boring. She was like, "Ooh, I don't like your new medication. It makes you boring." Whatever. Never mind. We're not friends anymore. I'm a mom. I'm married. My husband and I have been married for 23 years. Together for 25. He is a very patient man, because he's been by my side through many of these transitions. that I've experienced, and we both experience them differently because he's gone through them too. We just experience them differently, because we all, this isn't just me, we all go through it, you know. And again, how you fare really does depend on the way that you process it, you know. You can resist the change, and when you resist it, I learned the hard way because I resisted change for a really long time. I think back to all the times where I had an opportunity to make some really significant changes in my life, and I refused because I was afraid. I was afraid of what it looked like. I was afraid of what people would think of me. I was afraid of, I was afraid of everything. I was afraid of everything. And I was really, really afraid of not being accepted, not, people like, and it was triggering because it was, you know, most of it was abandonment issues, but it was like I was afraid to rock the boat because I didn't want people to leave me because you know, my dad wasn't around. So it was kind of like, you know, I couldn't figure out. And it's crazy because the further you go along on your journey, the dots start to connect on their own. It's crazy, but the dots have connected for me. And so now I'm looking and I'm like, damn, it's all connected. Like part of my lessons were learning to walk away from things that were truly not meant for me, that were truly not going to be good for me, and appreciate what I have right in front of me, right? From my dad, my biological dad, I was longing for his love, couldn't figure out why this man couldn't be a father to me, yet he raised somebody else. He couldn't be a father to me or my sisters, but he raised somebody else's child. I couldn't wrap my brain around it. Had, you know, the affection and adoration of guys all over the place all the time, but couldn't figure out why this one guy, why this one person couldn't love me. And I mean, I fucking racked my brain about that shit for years. And it made me feel unworthy, unloved, unlovable, despite the fact that I had a whole husband who was constantly telling me that he loved me, constantly telling me that I was beautiful, always, you know, spending time with me, doing things with me that my ex couldn't do, wouldn't do, refused to do, whatever. The lesson in all of it was to be appreciative for what you have. Be appreciative that the universe heard me, knew what I wanted, knew what I needed. But my ass was so silly that it had to be this, right? And it took me a really long time to figure out that that wasn't the way. A long ass time. So that ego death was a bitch. When I was 21, I went through a period where I was crying all the time. I believe that was like one of the first major awakenings. I was crying all the time. I look in the mirror and I didn't know who was looking back at me. Nothing made sense. I really didn't have any direction. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I just knew I was incredibly unhappy. And even then, I had an opportunity to heal a wound and I didn't do it. Like, I was focused more on speaking my truth, and speaking your truth is fine. I was okay with speaking the truth. The part that I failed at was forgiving the transgressions. I couldn't do it. I didn't know how, right? But now at this stage of the game, it's easier because I understand that the way people are with us, the way people act or behave or the way they treat us, it ain't really got shit to do with us. It has everything to do with them. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, I'm going to show you this one more time because this is going to be a project for you. Look at those numbers. I want you to spend some time and look over these numbers, right? Do it just like this, right? Every 7 and 11 years. And I know that some of you are really young, so you won't really have that far to go, but Don't look at the big numbers and think of it as like, oh my God, my life is going to be awful. It doesn't have to be. And that's the reason why I'm doing this. This is the reason why I'm bringing my messages now. And this is the reason why I engage in the collective, because I want you guys to know that there is a way out of this path of least resistance. What does that mean? Go with the flow. Go with the flow. Go with the flow. And if you trust, if you have trust and faith and a deep belief that you are divinely protected and guided, and what's for you will never have to be chased. You will never have to chase that shit, because it'll be there for you, but you won't get it until you're ready for it. And the universe does make sure of that. It'll give you small tastes of it, but it won't give you the big shebang bang until you are ready for it. I've seen my blessings come in you know, nice little waves, so I can kind of see where it's going, but I understand why it hasn't happened full blown. Partially I'm to blame because I haven't launched the other half of my business. And all of my readings, even my own readings, my collective readings are I'm dragging myself, because when I go back and I read them, I'm like, damn. But I know what I need to do, and I'm doing it. I'm just doing it really slow. But I know that there is a much greater thing happening right now. And I'm so excited that there are so many people that are waking up, and it is my hope that with all of these people waking up, that we can make changes, real changes. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. Oh my God. But I'm hoping that we can make real changes. That's what this whole thing is about. You know? Anywho, that's going to be my time for today. I got to write down some stuff, because I actually have a bunch of things that I want to talk about. But I wanted to kind of go over this list for sure, because these are things that y'all need to know. And a lot of times it's shared in little bits and pieces, and people don't really know. But now that I'm at this age, like, I've lived through enough that I can share my experience, and that's the reason why I'm doing what I do. Because I am supposed to help y'all through my own experiences, through my stories. So please come along with me on the journey. I appreciate every single one of the people that follow, subscribe, like, share, everything. I appreciate it. And it's humbling, because I'm just me. It's like funny. I talk to people. I did an interview yesterday, a Zoom interview for an article yesterday. And I was kind of tickled. I laughed because I said, you know, it's funny to me, because I talk to people when I comment on things online, like somebody will comment or they'll post something on Twitter. And if I comment on it, people are like, oh my God, Auntie's in my comments. I'm just like, I'm just me. I'm just Tam. Like, you know, and I just hope that my messages are well received. I understand that not everybody's going to receive them well. That's fine. I don't care. If you don't know nothing about Tam, Tam don't give a shit. Okay, I'm gonna give you the messages. You don't have to like them. You don't even have to like me. I don't care. I like me just fine. But tell me in the comments, like, I don't know, I mean, how many people are actually going to watch this, because it's not a reading, because I know how y'all love free content. But what about, like, what is it that y'all want to know about? Like, what is it that you want to learn? Like, how can I better guide you? How, like, I could do a whole series. Let me tell you, I've experienced a lot. I could do a whole series. I just don't know how to break it all down, because it's long. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. But tell me in the comments, like, what is it that you guys want to know? Like, what can I help guide you with? What way can I best serve you? Please share that with me in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe, hit the bell notification so that you know that I am uploading videos, because I want to start doing this more frequently and adding more content, more readings more frequently. I'm kind of leaning away from collective messages just because I haven't been called to do it. Like Spirit has been really, I think it's only happening to certain people, like a certain group of people, because I am not, it's taken me a really long time, but like even when I do collective messages, when I don't do them for long periods of time, it means I'm not getting any hits. I'm not getting the nudges. I mean, Spirit's literally like, y'all, they need to figure it out. Don't tell them what's getting ready to happen. Don't tell them. So there are some things that I can't see, because Spirit doesn't want me to see, and they don't want me to share. And it's not just me. I know other readers are going through it too. There's like this weird, I don't know, it could just be Mercury retrograde thing, but yeah, that. Anywho, yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys want to learn about. What do you guys need help with? What do you need? Do you want tips? Do you want guidance? We could talk about witchcraft. We can talk about spell work. We can talk about tools, divination tools. We can talk about candles. We can talk about all kinds of stuff. You tell me what you want to talk about. Tell me what you want to know. Leave them in the comments, and I will make it happen. All right. So I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week. I mean, today's Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. So have a good weekend. All right. Take care, guys. I love you. I'll see you guys next time. Okay. I'm going to start working on the next twin flame video. I'm thinking I'm going to do I keep changing the format just because there's something in the format that I'm using that's not sitting well with me. And I can't figure out what it is, but it doesn't feel comfortable. I'm just doing it to be doing it, but it doesn't feel comfortable. So I'm going to play with the spread a little bit, but I am gearing up to do my next twin flame reading. And I almost feel like I don't even need to do a twin flame reading, because y'all know what the hell is happening. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, that part. Lots of fear, lots of hesitation, and divine feminines are all just kind of like, whatever, I'm going on with my life. So yeah, feminines, keep doing what you're doing. Divine masculines, if any of y'all are watching this, get your shit together. Yeah, that's all I got. I hope you guys are well. Take care. Love you. Bye.